Via with the accusative case would mean on account of. The word via, which is the preposition of attendant circumstances, rather general, that's the word there. So I'm not for a moment saying the via is not on account of, it's through. All right, let's look at this. Nigel Turner, the expert who did the Moulton Milligan grammar, just a past master in Greek, explains it like this. In him, the first one, all things were created. If you check the Moulton Milligan grammar, you'll find the N there is taken to be causal. Because of. N has a wide range of meanings, and they take it as causal. So because of him, all things were created by God. That's called a divine passive. Ektithi. All things were created by God because of Jesus. In him, with him in mind, if you like, everything was, in heaven and on the earth, the visible and the aorata, the invisible, whether thrones or dominions, kyriotitis, dominions, whether rulers arche or exousia, authority. All things through him. Now look what's happened here. The preposition has changed to through. In that first clause we just did, it was N, meaning because of, a causal N. And then he changes the verb tense. No longer a perfect tense. Have been created. Sorry, no longer an aorist tense, what we had before, but a perfect tense, meaning have been and now stand created. The perfect tense in Greek implies an event which is ongoing. So that's very clever what Paul has done there. A very dramatic change of verb tense, a very dramatic change of preposition. Jesus is the one through whom the present creation is being operated. Everything is now through Jesus, but the Genesis creation was indeed with him in mind, because of him. Change of verb tense, you're going to have to look this up in Nigel Turner's grammatical studies on the New Testament and so on. We've written about this in 2 full books. You can find them fairly easily at Amazon. I would simply encourage you to examine the change of tense from the aorist, a single event in the past, and the present, everything now stands created through the present Jesus. So there, Jesus began in the womb of his mother. If you're any doubt about that, simply say to yourself, where in Matthew, Mark, and Luke? Let's leave John alone just for a moment. Go to Matthew, Mark, and Luke. Say, where do I find a Jesus who was other than a human being beginning in the womb of his mother, which must be true of any human being? You won't find it. Start Matthew, Mark, and Luke. 3 versions. You won't find a word about a non-human, pre-human Jesus. Now, in John, you might, but then you're being tricked by the translation here and there also. So that's the method. Go to Matthew, Mark, and Luke and work on pre-existence there. Then say to yourself, how can I pre-exist myself? How can I be older than my grandmother or my grandfather? It's not even coherent. Your children are not going to understand that. No need for that. Jesus has to be fully human, not just an ordinary man, not an ordinary man. If God is his father, he has no human father. It's absolutely abnormal. Adam also had no human father, as you know. So we need to get back to the really human Messiah. That's the important point that I'm making here.